I'm recording this on Monday, the February 10th. A little bit of a minor update. Again, most updates I don't really even make when things happen in my life. 90% of them, as amazing as some of them are, I don't even bother. But this one's kind of interesting. Again, I have all these brain things going on. And what could I say? I still somehow don't even have the words, but something happened. Between like 24 to 48 hours ago. Had like or something like that, a little more. I had this, I don't know what to describe it. You could consider it in one kind of way. It was like a brain electrical storm. And I never quite had that happen with whatever that was in my life. Unbelievable. And then all of a sudden I started breathing different, and my nerves and my whole neurology, my whole nerve tree, so to speak, that shoots out from your brainstem through your whole body, like it got reprogrammed. I started gaining control of breathing muscles in my chest that I never even knew I had, is the best way I could describe it, or it certainly felt like that. My breathing pattern became different, my mechanics became different. Over the following day to two after that, I noticed I'm having more fluid conversations. I'm speaking better. Now I've gone on a lot about how the spiritual and the physical, those are opposites. Okay, so for example, Pharaoh, and anybody who has Pharaoh-like energy, and it's interesting as a coincidence. Even rabbis today, some of them acknowledge energetically, and this is true. I also perceive the same thing independently. Moshiach really is Pharaoh programming in a true sense. It's a little slightly more nuanced than that, but in a basic sense, it's quite pretty much spot on in a way. He's the bridge between the physical and the spiritual, but residing with the open bridge or the open gate, but on the spiritual side. And I about this, I think about this more often than most people would believe. I've been wanting to make a video about one aspect of this. I just keep, for months and months, I've been thinking about the same stuff almost every day, and I failed to make a video about it. About Pharaoh programming, Pharaoh essence, and really what the dynamics of this are. So, yeah, but I feel like halfway back to a regular guy, which is insane. I haven't felt this way since, in some sense, since few to several years ago, and in another sense, since before the coma. Okay? And it's some crazy thing, and the neurology also has changed. I've had metabolic issues ever since the coma. My urine's been almost clear, or very light yellow at best, for 8 years, whereas before, no matter how much water I drink and no matter what my diet was always very dark yellow. Now, I go into medically why that is. It has everything to do with the lack of the breakdown, which is not liver damage or kidney damage, but rather the neural tree that activates these organs is inhibited, which is why, of course, those who know my whole medical thing is a side thing, right? So I get up all of a sudden, I take a piss. That piss is as dark. It's like a memory shoot back to 10 years ago. Like, oh, I remember this. Wow, the color tone of this is exactly how it was 10 years ago. So something's gone on majorly changing my body. We'll see what the signs of this are. I could definitely say, is it good? Did I lose some of the spiritual by re-getting half access back into the physical? Did I lose some of the spiritual? I don't know. This is new. It's like a new clothes. I'm still wearing it out and feeling and seeing what's going on, what this is going to do. I'm not in control of this. Hashem is in control. God is in control. I had no ability to decide any of what's just happened now. I just live it and experience it. It must be meant to be in essence. It's almost uncomfortable how shot back I am to a physical framework. All right, there's been stuff around me. I live in the sanitation department's garbage room probably is close to about as kept well as my own environment here. I live in like garbage. It would shock you actually how bad it is, And imagine being somebody who's got such a spiritual, physical disconnect. And it reminds you, it goes back to that movie 300, where they have that in that case was a female oracle. Those elders or whatever, they come up to her and she's prophesying as the oracle. She's like, and her eyes are all rolled up. She's in La La Land, right? That's really, prophets to some extent are a lot like that. Okay, now that girl isn't cleaning her room tidily. She's not cohered to this world. If you have one finger a centimeter in front of your eyeball and another target 10,000 yards in front of you, the eye of your lens can only focus such that if focus is clear on one, the other has to get blurred out necessarily. This is what the physical spiritual correspondence duality is like a lot. So see, now I'm having like hey, what's going on? Hey, no, normal talking, like halfway to normal. You can hear it probably. I hear it and feel it. A lot of my other videos for months and years have been like, it's just this unexplainable. How is this so like rigidified? But really, it's not. The neural framework for that aspect seems rigidified, but actually, in that framework, I'm more intelligent. Now I could really convince you of a lot of stuff. I'm your salesman today. I don't know nothing. When I'm, that's when I'm at the God level almost. You understand that? Just like with the Oracle, in that movie, or whatever else. Okay? This is one of the few things that I don't have a wise answer to you about, which is almost strange. So maybe I'm losing a slight bit of my angle here. God does with us what He wills. Or it's a new outfit. Spiritual, physically, neurologically, energetically, that I have to wear in and figure out how it feels. Let's consider one thing.
Now, one of the parts of the journey of the prophet is he separates himself from normal rat race. Now, we're going to see that doesn't mean that he can't be in the rat race. He's just not a rat. Meaning, he can interact with people, but he's not lost in that world. That for the prophet, one of the ways of achieving this is he has to become sensitive to almost distance a little bit, to be able to just to refine his senses. But it doesn't mean he leaves forever. It just means that he's sensitive to not just getting lost in this world, but tach b'loisav. And he's also not caught up in what the Rambam calls tach b'loisav. How can I just conquer? The strategies of just conquering the world, whether that be through business, through politics, whatever it is. He's not caught up in tach b'loisav.
So in a very simplistic sense, that guy has it. In a very basic way, kind of right. You see, in a very simplistic way. To specify a little bit further, and most people don't actually get this unless you have experienced it, then you really understand it. It's not that. So for example, take people who are. As a kind of parallel, like, okay, these Buddhists who are meditating so they get closer to enlightenment, right? And they see, what do these highly meditated monks look like? Oh, well, they don't do much energy, they don't do much physical stuff. It's like they purposely give it up. Oh, okay, so they figure, so how do we become like them? Oh, we gotta stop, we gotta purposely disengage ourselves away from physical stuff, like by force, to forcibly disable ourselves from taking it on. Forcibly holding yourselves down, so to speak, and take on the overt, outward act of taking on this meditative position, and laxing yourself and just, no, not really. Okay. Rather, those who become highly meditated, so to speak, and closer to enlightenment, they naturally are led to disablement of the physicality. And then people look at that, observe a lack of physicality, and go, "Oh, I better. If I drop physicality, I'll become like them." No, or yes, but in such a long roundabout way that it's not precisely what you think that's how that's going to happen. Um, you see the end result. It looks like that's you think. Oh, so if I do that, I'll get the end result. Is it flip? You've got it backwards. Um, you don't choose that part. You can't choose it. But anyway, whatever happened to me, now I'm backwards. Or whatever. Life is life. I won't even say backwards, but for the first time I'm getting up and I'm saying, oh, this object here. Oh, I'll just pick this up, move this here. Ba, 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 ba. And I'm like, wow, for 5 years I couldn't do that effectively. Or if I did, for you to solve the world's hardest math problem to take 4 hours is how hard it is for me to move an object from the left to the right. But for me to solve the world's hardest math problem is as easy for me as for you to move an object from the left to the right. Do you understand? And then the other spiritual aspects too, the spiritual physical duality correspondence and the inversion relationship between the two. So I'm back slightly, kicked down, I have to say, humbly down into the physical. Where's my spiritual aspect? I'm not sure. This is the first time you probably hear me talk like this. Funny thing to hear a guy say, right? Especially given everything that's been talked about. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's just see how this goes. Do I have the same higher gates connections as I genuinely even now can tell you there's not a mistake? Okay, probably with better language verbiage control capabilities now, I can tell you, ooh, you have no idea how valid, authentic everything has been. It's no mistake. It almost feels like a lateral shift with spirituality, with a very slight downgrade of the very slightest. The upgrade of physicality is more significant, and then spirituality is very slightly down, and then a lot, just what you could say, lateral. So I don't know where on the map I am. I'll wear it in. We'll see. We'll see. It's been years, but I don't even like it. These are the kind of superpowers you can run. Different superpowers you could run around and you know go out and just sway the world in that way. But that's not what one wants. Even I know what the other side. I'd rather be while connected to God. It feels better than what you people love in the physical. Ooh, 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 yes, smooth. Mm-mm. Trust me, because I live both sides. Now, as I'm talking to you, oh, everything's physical, yeah. No, you people don't know what you're missing out on. Talk to the one who's been on both sides, and you'll say, oh, that's the physical is nothing almost. I miss the other one. I want it back. Let's see what happens.